it was just this like, holy shit of my dream is here. And what's crazy about it, Hannah, is that at the time of being at the peak, I could see the end. And that was a moment where I got to know all these guys who were 5 or 10 years in front of me. And I saw their careers winding down in front of me. And it was so scary to see. Like, I'm telling you, so many athletes are living beyond their means. If athletes just took a little bit of what they're making and invested into something that created cash flow, and they got on the side of hopefully saving on tax a little bit, they'll never have to work again the rest of their life. But what happens time and time again, almost like clockwork, is these guys sign these big contracts, and potentially gals, but in my world, guys would sign these big contracts. They buy a big home, they buy a sweet car. Everyone thinks they're rich, and they got a mortgage for $30,000 a month. And then, 3-4 years later, there's an injury or something changes, and the contract ends, and they have a mortgage payment that they can't pay. Once the contract ends, the home's gone, the car's gone, and they're literally back at the grocery store. And I saw it. One guy, one of my really good friends, Nate, got paid out $2 million from one of the brands when he as his retirement bonus. And he took his $2 million, spent 6 months traveling the world with his 5 best friends, partying, tattoos, came back, and he said, money ruined me.
Yeah, and I see that so many times in the athletes that I meet. They think that it's never going to end, and they think that money's just going to continue on forever, and it goes so fast. I mean, you can blow any amount of money in a very short period of time, and I don't think there's enough education out there around financial intelligence, and so that's why, like, mentors of mine, like Robert Kiyosaki, where I read his book very young, and I believe you read that book too, which is what segued you into real estate, which we'll tap into in a second, but just that ability to automate your investing. So I learned this from David back a couple weeks ago. He's a massive multi-billion-dollar fund manager, very successful author and speaker, but he talks about automating your savings. So 15% off the top, no matter what, you immediately put that into, whether it's real estate, whether it's a stock account, a 401k, self-directed IRA, like you can open up an Acorns account, and where every single week or 2 weeks or whatever, that gets automated. And then over time that just compounds. And so if you put these simple tools in place, you can create massive financial freedom, even on a low salary job. You don't even need to be making $1 million a year.
Yeah, it's so much easier always to go up to, like, if you, let's just say you're making 500 grand a year and you live on, 150 of it, it's so much easier to make the lifestyle nicer than to go backwards. If you're like, I gotta reverse it. Once you're getting used to a lifestyle and a home and a car, it's so much more challenging to go backwards. Where if you can just take that for athletes and people making good money at a young age, or anyone making good money, take a 3 to 5 year window and act like you're making very little and invest it like a beast in great assets, great, with right advisors, like unbelievable how much different place you could be. Because gosh, if I could have helped Nate when he got the 2 million, and I'm like, hey dude, here's $1 million, go have fun, let's take this $1 million and let's invest it, he would be living in a place of complete freedom.
Yeah, and it's a lot harder to make $1 million again than it is to just invest what you already have and get going. And that's exactly what I did from the lessons of Rich Dad Poor Dad, where he said, okay, use your income to acquire assets and then use the passive income from your assets to pay for your liabilities and your lifestyle. Yeah. And so that's what I did. And in real estate, it takes time to have enough passive income and enough cash flow to have a good lifestyle, because it takes time for the assets to appreciate and yada, yada. But that's what allowed me to become a millionaire by 25 years old. And I didn't make $1 million. I made 50,000 here, 50,000 here, 30,000 here, 20,000 here, whatever. And as much of the percentage as I possibly could out of that money, I immediately invested that into assets that I knew could build up my passive income. And so I didn't start, just in a few years of growth and the appreciation in the market and the value add that I did to the properties, I was a millionaire. And I didn't, I had only probably invested less than $200,000. Yeah. And so that's just the power of what wealth can do, or any amount of income can do, if you strategize and you invest it properly and don't just want instant gratification.